Lagos, a high court in Oyo State presided over by Justice Ladiran Akintola on Tuesday granted an order to the People's Democratic Party to proceed with its national convention slated for November 15th and 16th in Ibadan, the state capital. The judge also fixed Monday for hearing of the motion on notice. This latest development appears to have deepened the controversy around the opposition party's planned national convention. We're now being joined for a quick chat on this matter by Okechukwu Osuoha, who is PDP's Deputy National Legal Advisor. Good to have you on Newsday. Good afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Let me just correct that impression. My name is Okechukwu Osuoha, not Okechukwu Osuoha. Thank you so much.
Apologies, there must have been a typo there, but that will be corrected immediately. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Okechukwu Osuoha. Thank you. Now, let's begin.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. We've seen numerous cases or occurrences or instances where the National Convention has been postponed or disrupted in recent years. Are you concerned that in spite of this go-ahead that's been received for the 15th and 16th, that something might still disrupt the planned convention?
Thank you so much. Let me explain and enlighten the public and everybody. This matter came up when we had the planned convention. So when we were planning for the convention in Ibadan, there was some disagreements and issues. So some members of the party, went and approached the court, the Federal High Court. And in Nigeria, we're in a democratic society. The Constitution and the law is so clear that if you are aggrieved, a Nigerian, that a citizen that is aggrieved, you approach the court to seek redress, so that for interpretation of whatever law or whatever you think has gone wrong. And these plaintiffs, they approached the Federal High Court, Abuja, and the matter was pending there. Then finally last week, a judgment was delivered and upon the matter. And in that judgment, it was unambiguous and clear. The court actually stated that what was the matter or the subject matter was not all about internal affairs of the party. That it was all about, a violation of the law, extant laws of the land. That the rule of law must prevail. That things we are not done properly by the party, and that's why we had that issues. That the party should go back to the drawing board and put everything in order, so that the convention can still hold. And then that convention was put on hold, that the party should go and do things properly in accordance with the law. And the court was so emphatic, even went further to direct, and there was an injunction, barring INEC from either observing anything that the party does or whatever the party will do, that the INEC should not even participate until things are done properly well in accordance with the law. And after that judgment, I expected the former national chairman, Ambassador Domagu, and the NWC to call a meeting of stakeholders and the leaders of the party, so that put a way forward for a negotiation and reconciliation. Let there be reconciliation in the party. But I didn't see that. What I now heard was in the news, I heard that there was another matter that came up in Oyo State High Court, and then there was an order that now asked the party that they must proceed on for the convention. But for me, in our legal jurisprudence, I'm a lawyer and the Deputy National Legal Advisor of our party. So from my legal practice, I know that both the Federal High Court and then the State High Court are courts of coordinate jurisdiction in law. And whenever a court of competent jurisdiction like the Federal High Court has given a judgment in a matter, so whoever that feels dissatisfied with that judgment, the process and the procedure or the next step should be to approach or to appeal the matter in an appellate court, and not to go to a court of coordinate jurisdiction and begin to say, what do you expect? There was an order given to an agency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that's INEC, that has the constitutional responsibility to guide and regulate political parties and conduct elections in Nigeria. And the Federal High Court has given them an order that they should not observe or proceed with any convention. And another court of concurrent jurisdiction, coordinate jurisdiction, will go and give another order. And even the order I saw was an ex parte order. It was not even a judgment, because that court judgment in the Federal High Court was a competent judgment that a court gave. So what I expected our party or whoever that was not satisfied with that judgment is to approach the appellate court. That's why constitutionally we have hierarchy of courts. That if a court of first instance gives a judgment and you're not satisfied, you go to an appellate court, and not to go to another court of coordinate jurisdiction and begin to give an order. It makes, it's amazing, and then it ridicules our system and our legal system. That's why I call it a judicial rascality. That's what I can tell you.
Amazing indeed. I'd like to take you back to those stakeholders you mentioned. For those who were against the convention going forward initially, if not appeased or they're not being, settled, as it were, wouldn't that deepen the rift within PDP and also ultimately affect its chances at the general elections?
Thank you so much. That brings us to the fact that in this country, we've been practicing democracy, and democracy must try by the rule of law and not impunities. People should not, do things in their whims and caprices. They should go by the laws. We have the ground norm of our laws in Nigeria. That's the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. And then we have the Electoral Act that regulates elections in Nigeria. And we have the Constitution of the party, Section 2 of the PDP Constitution, provided that every member and organs of this party will be bounded by this Constitution. So even in our party, what actually you say those people the plaintiff, those who were aggrieved, they approached the court. And the court has given a judgment. And I believe what we need now is reconciliation. What we need now is negotiation. All the parties, all the aggrieved parties should come together and negotiate, and so that we can still hold a competent convention. Because what if you don't do things in accordance with the law? The consequence, there's legal consequences. If you rush and go and do a convention and you didn't do things properly in accordance with the law, people will still go and challenge it. If you give people tickets to go and contest the elections, there's legal consequences, because after what they have done, people will approach the court and they will challenge it, and maybe whatever you have done will be nullified. It's not proper, it's not good. So we must do things in accordance with the law and do things properly. That's what I'll tell you.
Well, Mr. Okechukwu Osuoha, PDP National Legal Advisor, we'd like to thank you for your insight and wish you well regarding your convention. Thank you for joining us.